Hi everyone, welcome to World of Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is the new Defender tank, the Tier 8 Premium Russian heavy tank, which was introduced, I would say, in February or March 2017, and been driven today by Ravi18 from Crazy Clan, and of course a Defender, also known as the Object 252U, depending on which package you picked. Now, Ravi's on Westfield. He's on a mission to kill 6 tanks of 3 different kinds. And the Defender. Standard rounds do 440. Unless you set another Defender on fire, in which case you'll get 577. APCR rounds do the same, but they a bit more penetration. 265 pen for the APCR, 225 for the standard rounds. Now, of course, the Defenders have been used a lot in Tier 8 Clan Wars, skirmishes, platoons, and that's because of it's pretty well armoured. It's got a lot of armour on it. It seems to bounce a lot of shots, and Ravi looks for a shot. He seems to penetrate the turret there, which was not too bad for standard rounds, especially after I've just said that it bounces a lot of shots. But they do pick up a hell of a lot of credits, which we're going to see later on. Looks like under the gun is the place to shoot a Defender, because I think that's where Ravi just picked up 2 shots with standard rounds. Often you see these Defenders just plough through enemy tanks and bounce things all day long. He's already picked up 1500 hit points of damage, and he would love to pick up the kill on that enemy Defender, which he does by possibly putting a shot straight through the gun mantlet. That's not a bad lesson on where to penetrate these tanks. And he's looking at the other Defender now, who's kindly showing his side, but looks like he's not quite going to get a shot in, as a KV-3 burns away after a big shot from the Oni. 4-2 the score. He's picked up 1500 hit points of damage in his Defender, and now he's looking at the AMX 5100, the auto-loading French tank, as he picks up his second kill. 1703 hit points of damage done, 2 kills, and he's still on full health, so he's got to be pretty excited as he looks at the rear of the enemy Defender. He puts another 475 hit points of damage into the Russian heavy tank, and then he leaves his teammates to clean him up as he looks into the town on Westfield. This is going to be a double shot of Defender action as Ravi puts a massive shell into the KV-85, picking up his 3rd kill of the game. He's only got 6 standard rounds left, and one thing this video is really going to show is the profitability of premium tanks. I know I'm running low on credits. I'll run premium tanks for a couple of hours, and if you have games like this, you'll be flush in credits in no time. 9-4 the score now, so you'd be pretty confident to say that Ravi and his team's going to win this. 9-5, as looks like the enemy side have really smashed the southeastern flank, which is a place where medium tanks normally go. Ravi puts a blind shot towards the, what do they call it? The T-25 Pilot, yet another new premium tank that Wargaming have brought into the game. 9-7, the big medium push from the enemy side starting to pay off now. 9-8 as Ravi puts a massive shell into the Rudy. This is almost World of Premium tanks, this battle. Plenty of premium tanks in this game. The Defender, the T-26E5, the E-25, T-34, STA-2. Bloody hell, there's hundreds of them. And of course the new Swedish tank. He fires towards the T-44-100, which looks like he missed him, but the T-26E5, also known as the Patriot, picks up the kill. He bounces a few shots from the Chieftain and the T-25 Pilot up in the corner, and that's where they're holding their ground. Sticks with standard ammunition because there's nothing on the enemy tanks, on the enemy team, that's going to be really hard to penetrate, as Ravi18 slowly climbs this hill, looking at some shots of the Chieftain T-25, and of course the T-44. Certainly is World of Premium tanks. Lots and lots of premium tanks in this battle on both sides. The Oni picks up the kill on the T-25 Pilot 1, and that just leaves the Chieftain T-95, which was a Clan Wars reward tank about a year ago, I reckon, as well as the T-44 and that T-34-85, which is probably overmatched there, but he look at that, looks like a nice shot into the side of the turret, gets him for 391, brings his total damage count up to 3,407. He's blocked 970 and 2131 assisted damage. Bounces a shot from the chieftain, waits for the gun to reload, and picks up his 4th kill to score on 14-9. The T-34-85, that looked or felt like high explosive rounds there. And look, he can afford to cop a few more shots from that little medium tank. And of course he picks up the kill. And it's the last kill of the game. Ravi 18 from Crazy Clan absolutely loves his defender. And this is why, as we have a very quick look at the post-game battle results. It's a Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, a spotter medal for doing all that assisted damage. Bruiser, Duelist, Fighter, 5 for effect. The High Caliber, unlucky not to pick up the top gun, but you'd be happy with this result. 3,725 hit points of damage, 5 kills, 1,527 base experience, which is absolutely massive. You fired 13 shots, 11 hit, and they all did damage. You blocked 1,200, 2,131 assisted damage, and have a look at these credits. 167,813 credits, and that's with a premium account, of course, but it still would have been over 100,000 credits with a standard account. Looking again at all these tanks, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 premium tanks on Ravi's side, and a few on the enemy side as well. As we move on to the second game of this double shot of Defender Object 252U premium Russian heavy tank action. This time we're on Paris, and this one's been driven by Sub-Zero from Screw Clan, and again a few defenders being seen in this game. Of course, it's called a defender if it's got this camouflage on it, which you can see, and you can see Sub-Zero's already picked up a mark of excellence on his Russian Tier 8 premium tank. The ones that are called the Object 252U don't have that camouflage or that paint on the tank, and of course they also have the option to put their own camouflage on if that's how they choose. Apart from that, they're pretty much the same tank. Now Sub-Zero, you can see, rather than putting a fire extinguisher on this thing, it looks like he's opted to go for food, which will help with his aim time, his reload, his speed, and all those other statistics which go into the tank as he moves into the normal position where heavy tanks go on Paris. I'll finish the coffee before it goes cold. As he puts a shot into the AMX CDC, he'll think twice before poking that corner again. Picks up his first shot of damage on Paris, and he's looking at, doesn't have to look at the minimap, he can see all these enemy tanks coming towards him. The defender on Sub-Zero's team really copping a hiding from all those tanks that have pushed under the bridge, and of course he doesn't have the best gun depression, but it's got enough to put a shot into the 112 Tier 8 premium Chinese heavy tank. Looks like a lot of people really playing their heavy tanks whenever these replays were recorded. As he aims at the Super Pershing, puts in another shell into the premium American medium tank. Looks like someone's firing high explosive down at that defender, because someone just got him for 55 damage, which is just a waste of time. But Sub-Zero puts another shot into the T-26E4, getting him down to 548 hit points. And I'm not sure if he's going to penetrate at that angle. There's the O-knee, bounces the O-knee. Lucky enough still to be on full health, Sub-Zero. The score's 0 all, and these, look, I reckon these enemy tanks, even though there's a lot of them there, the enemy tanks seem to be taking more damage than, certainly more damage than Sub-Zero is taking. Looks like artillery just put a shot into the O-knee, or the O-knee, which is probably the biggest target in this battle. Bounces the Japanese Tier 7 heavy tank. Of course there's a platoon of O-knees, and it looks like they're working quite well together. And a shot into the side of that T-26E4's turret. There it goes, picks up his first kill, evens the scoreboard back up at 2 apiece, now 3 apiece, as a few tanks get killed on the other side of the map. Now Sub-Zero pretty much on his own now. He's got a Tiger 2 with him, who's on 1133 hit points, and a KV2 stuffing around. But of course that KV2 won't be able to push too hard into these tanks. That KV2 is just going to have to take some opportunistic shots into these tier 8 heavy tanks. The 112, the Defender, and of course the 2 tier 7, the Onis. But 7-4 the score now as Sub-Zero picks up his second kill, taking the enemy Defender, a very handy tank to get rid of, out of the game. And he's still on full health. He's picked up 2707 hit points of damage as he starts aiming towards that T343. Which he looks like there's a dead tank in his way. That looks like it might be the tank that he put some damage into earlier. Maybe the AMX CDC. So it looks like he's going to go under this bridge, which is not an unusual place for the heavy tanks to do their brawling. 8-5 the score, 9-5 now. You'd think this would be looking like a pretty good result. You can see it on the mini-map, the Leo, the T-37, the Hellcat and the other light tank running around here looking for the artilleries. 10-5 the score now. Picks up the kill on one of the Onis in the platoon. And he's in a pretty good position here to stay hull down and put some shots into the enemy tanks. No idea what that FV304 was doing. Pretty sure the kettle might have been on and he wanted to get back to it. He just YOLO'd and just got blown apart by the Oni, I think it was, as Sub-Zero puts another shell into the tier 7 Japanese heavy tank. And what's been happening on the other side of the map I will never know, because looks like a lot of the enemy tanks have pulled back and gone back up here to take care of whatever was up here, because they've just been decimated. Now the score back to 11 apiece. He's only got APCR left. He's already got 4 kills, 4,162 damage, a little bit blocked and a little bit of assisted damage, as he wants to get rid of this T-34-3, the Chinese premium medium tank, who's also in a platoon with that 112. 12 all the score, as he looks at the Chinese premium medium tank. Takes him down to 812 hit points, but looks like that 343 is heading straight for the T-25 AT, as well as possibly the artillery. The artillery gets killed by the Chinese medium tank, but the Chinese medium tank not in a bad spot there. Does get a shot in, brings his damage count up to 5,108, and they're down by a tank for the first time. Remember, they were up by about 4 or 5 tanks just a couple of minutes ago. 12-14 the score now. Sub-Zero on 5,108 hit points of damage. He's blocked 630 and a little bit of assisted too. He wants to get rid of that T-34-3. So I'm pretty sure he's only a one-shot for the Defender with its big, strong gun. Only APCR rounds left apart from high explosives. And it's a T-343 who's on 5 kills, and the 112. Now the gun of this dead tank in his way. He's got no repair kits left. This is just going to be infuriating. This would just be painful. Turns around. He wants to get his armour angled nice and neatly before he tries any funny business, because he's down by a fair amount. Gets the 112 down to a one shot. He's down to 191 hit points. Sub-Zero at 5,500 damage now. Looks like they're definitely working together. Auto aims on the 343, takes him out of the game. That M4A3E2 tank, the tier 6, starts firing high explosives, and that tracks him at 113. Can the 113 kill him? No, he can't. He shoots the 112, I should say, not the 113, and bounces him. That could be a costly mistake. He's only on 75 hit points now as he gets taken out by the derp gun on the M4A3E2, which is absolutely heartbreaking. As we have a look at the post-game battle results, remember they were up by about 4 or 5 tanks at the halfway mark of that game, but Sub-Zero from Screw Clan, his Object 252U Defender, he's picked himself up an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge for that effort. Duelist Fighter, 5 for effect in the high caliber. Look at that result, 5,858 damage, 5 kills, 981 hit points, base experience. He fired 19 shots, 18 hit and 15 went through, and I reckon if that last shot against the 112 had have penetrated, it could have been a totally different result. But even on a loss, he still made nearly 99,000 credits after tax with a premium account and a couple of pretty good games featuring the Object 252U, the Defender premium Russian heavy tank. Thanks for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care and see you all next time.